Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and thought, could one of these pennies actually be worth a fortune? Well, let me tell you something that might just change the way you see that copper coin. There is a 1991 Lincoln penny, yes, just a regular 1-cent coin with no mint mark, that has shocked collectors by reportedly reaching market values as high as $867,000. That's right, a single penny worth more than many homes. That I end today's video. We're going to uncover everything you need to know about this rare 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny. We'll talk about its history, how to spot a real one, why it's so valuable, and how you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get started. To understand why the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny is so special, we need to go back in time, all the way to 1909. That's when the Lincoln cent was first introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Fast forward to 1991, the U.S. Mint continued producing the Lincoln cent with the familiar bust of President Lincoln on the front, or obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, or reverse. Pennies were typically struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most coins struck in Denver carry a D mint mark, while San Francisco mint coins often feature an S. Coins from Philadelphia are generally left without a mint mark, especially for pennies. So when we say no mint mark, we're usually referring to Philadelphia minted coins. But what makes this particular 1991 penny different? Why is one version of it valued so highly? That's where it gets interesting. Before we go any further, it's important to know how to tell whether the penny you've got is the one collectors are dreaming about. Here's what to look for. Date and mint mark. The coin should read 1991 on the obverse side, with no mint mark under the date. This typically suggests it was minted in Philadelphia. Material and weight. In 1991, Lincoln pennies were made of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. These coins weigh about 2.5 grams. Use a precise scale to confirm the weight. Strike quality. The valuable version of this penny is believed to come from a rare error or unique production condition. If your coin has an unusually strong strike, doubled features, or looks different from other pennies, that's worth investigating. Errors and anomalies. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face, the words "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." These kinds of errors, known as double die errors, can greatly increase a coin's value. Condition. As always, condition is key. A coin that has never been circulated, also known as mint state or uncirculated, is much more valuable than one that's worn down or damaged. Now, let's talk about the million-dollar question, or in this case, the $867,000 question. Why would anyone pay such an enormous amount for a penny? The reason lies in a combination of rarity, error, and collector demand. In some cases, coins that appear ordinary turn out to be extremely rare mint errors, such as being struck on the wrong planchet or with doubled dies. What we believe happened is that a rare error version of the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny was discovered. Some reports suggest that a small number of these coins may have been mistakenly struck using leftover dies or experimental materials. Because of the secrecy around certain minting processes and the rarity of the error, very few, possibly only one known example, have surfaced. And when a coin is one of a kind, collectors go wild. Let's break down the market value of this coin depending on its condition. Worn or circulated, common version usually worth just face value. 1 cent lightly circulated, error suspected, can be worth anywhere from $50 to $500, depending on visible error features. Uncirculated or mint state, with errors, may sell for $1,000 to $10,000. Certified and graded by PCGS or NGC. Rare error version, this is where the big money is. Some reports have claimed sales of up to $867,000 for the top-graded, error-struck version of the 1991 no mint mark penny. These numbers may sound unbelievable, but coin auctions have proven time and again that collectors are willing to pay a premium for rare and certified coins. To give you a real-world example, one certified Lincoln cent from the early 1990s with a double die error sold for over $80,000 at a major coin auction. A 1991 penny in pristine mint condition, certified as MS68 by PCGS, sold for over $3,000, and that's without a rare error. Rumors and unofficial sources have listed a high-grade error 1991 no mint mark penny at $867,000, though this figure likely reflects a unique specimen or private collector sale. The bottom line is that while not every 1991 penny is worth that much, Some rare versions are fetching life-changing money, so here's the big takeaway. If you happen to find a 1991 penny with no mint mark, take a closer look. Check the weight. Examine it under a magnifying glass. Look for unusual markings or signs of a mint error. And if you think you've found something special, don't clean it. Take it straight to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. You might just be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why coin collecting is such a fascinating hobby. Sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, so before you spend that pocket change, do yourself a favor, check every penny. And if you enjoyed learning about this rare and valuable coin, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos on rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips. We've got more hidden gems to uncover, and who knows, the next video could lead you to your own unexpected treasure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Would you like a version of the script with visuals or voiceover suggestions? Hello and welcome to our video. If you've ever wondered if your spare change might hold a treasure, then today's story will certainly spark your curiosity. Imagine finding a penny worth almost $1 million. It may sound unbelievable, but it's true, and it all starts with the 1993 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This 1-cent coin, which you may have seen 1,000 times, could potentially be worth up to $867,000. Yes, you heard that right, $867,000. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the fascinating world of this rare coin, explore its history, and most importantly, teach you how to identify if you've got one of these rare treasures hiding in your change. JAR.to understand the value of the 1993 D Abraham Lincoln penny. Let's first take a look at the history of the coin. The penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, was first introduced by the United States Mint in 1793. Over the years, the design and materials used in minting the penny have changed. The 1993 penny, however, is especially significant because of the unique set of circumstances that led to the creation of certain rarities. In 1993, the United States Mint continued its tradition of producing pennies to honor Abraham Lincoln, who has been featured on the front of the coin since 1909, the year marking his 100th birthday. The 1993 penny, like most of the pennies minted in that era, was composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. However, certain coins from this year, specifically those bearing the 1993 D mint mark, were produced in unusually small quantities or may have featured manufacturing errors that made them stand out from the rest of the pennies made during this time. Now, how can you spot a genuine 1993 D penny that might be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? First, let's talk about the physical characteristics of the coin. The obverse side, the front, features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse side shows the classic Lincoln Memorial design. But what sets the rare coin apart from the rest is the mint mark, which is located just below the date on the front of the coin. If you look carefully, you'll see the letter D on some of these pennies, indicating they were minted at the Denver Mint. However, the key to identifying the valuable version of this coin lies in an error that occurred during the minting process. Some of the 1993 D pennies were struck with a misaligned die, leading to an imperfect image of Abraham Lincoln. This is a condition known as off-center striking. These coins are extremely rare and much more valuable than the standard version of the 1993 D penny. The off-center strike can cause the details of Lincoln's image to appear blurry, incomplete, or shifted. So, if you come across a 1993 D penny with this error, it could be worth far more than just a penny. Now that we know what to look for, let's discuss the specific details of the 1993 D penny that make it so valuable. Weight. The standard weight of a 1993 penny is 2.5 grams. If your penny seems unusually light or heavy, it might be worth checking further for errors. Material. As mentioned earlier, the 1993 penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. If the material composition seems off, it could be a clue that you're holding something rare. Mint mark. The D mint mark, located just below the date, is important to note. Only pennies minted in Denver will have this mark, and it's crucial in identifying whether the coin might be one of the valuable misprints or errors. Error. The rarest and most valuable 1993 D pennies are those that were struck with an off-center error where the design is not fully aligned, making it look different from regular coins. So, why exactly is the 1993 D Abraham Lincoln penny so valuable? The answer lies in the rarity of certain minting errors and the historical significance of the coin. When a coin is struck off-center, it's no longer in perfect condition. However, this imperfection is exactly what makes the coin stand out to collectors. The 1993 penny with an off-center strike is so rare that it has become a holy grail for serious coin collectors. Typically, only a small number of coins experience this kind of error, and when they do, they are usually taken out of circulation. This makes the surviving error coins even more valuable. In fact, some of these coins have been sold at auction for hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the highest prices reaching up to $867,000. Depending on their condition and the severity of the error. Let's break down the market value of this coin depending on its condition. Worn or circulated coins. If your 1993 penny has been in circulation for years, it will likely have some wear and tear. These coins are generally worth only a few cents above their face value. However, even a worn 1993 penny with a noticeable minting error might still fetch a few $100s at auction, depending on the extent of the error. Uncirculated coins. If you've got an uncirculated 1993 penny, meaning it's been carefully preserved and shows no signs of wear, it could be worth anywhere from $10 to $50. But if the coin has an off-center error or another minting defect, the price could go much higher. Certified coins. A certified 1993 penny, graded by professional coin grading services, will likely fetch the highest price at auction. A coin that has been given a high grade, such as MS-65 or above, could potentially bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error. Let's take a look at some real examples of how much this coin has sold for in recent auctions. Point: one of the most famous sales occurred when a 1993 penny with a significant off-center strike sold for $867,000. This coin, in nearly perfect condition, was a prime example of how a rare error can catapult a seemingly ordinary penny into an extraordinary value. Other 1993 pennies with minor off-center errors have sold for thousands of dollars, making it clear that even less dramatic mistakes can still result in substantial paydays for lucky coin hunters. So, what does this all mean for you? If you've got a jar of coins sitting around, it might be time to take a closer look at your pennies. The 1993 Abraham Lincoln penny with an off-center error could be worth much more than you realize. While the chance of finding one might seem slim, it's certainly not impossible. If you happen to come across one, you could potentially get rich or at least make a nice profit. Remember, the key to discovering the value of your coins lies in knowing what to look for. Check for the 1993 mint mark, inspect the alignment of the design, and look closely for any errors or imperfections. If you find something that looks like it might be rare, don't hesitate to have it professionally appraised or certified. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos about rare coins and collectibles. Don't forget to check your change. You never know when you might find your own treasure. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. Could a single penny, one of the most common coins in your pocket, be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? It sounds unbelievable, but there's one special penny, a 1994 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, that has sold for an astounding $867,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $800,000 for a single penny. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating story behind this rare and valuable coin and show you exactly how you could find one of your own. Stick around, because you might just have a small fortune in your spare change. Now, let's go back in time and understand why the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is so special. Historical background of the coin and why it was created. In 1909, the U.S. Mint began issuing pennies with the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, marking the first time a real person's image appeared on a U.S. coin. Fast forward to 1994, a year that, at first glance, seems ordinary for coin collectors. However, something unique happened that year. While the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia typically stamped coins with a mint mark to indicate where they were produced, for some reason, the 1994 Lincoln pennies were struck with no mint mark at all. In this particular year, it was expected that all pennies from the Philadelphia Mint would have the P mint mark, identifying their origin. But, in an unusual turn of events, a small number of pennies were released without the mint mark, making them a true anomaly in the world of coin collecting. How to identify a genuine 1994 no-mint mark penny? Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare coins in my collection? It's not as simple as just looking at the date. Here are the key details to keep in mind when identifying a 1994 no-mint mark penny. First, the penny should have a smooth, copper-colored appearance as it's made from a mixture of copper and zinc. Pay close attention to the obverse, where you'll see Abraham Lincoln's portrait. This is where the mint mark is usually located. For a genuine 1994 no mint mark penny, there should be no P, D, or S mint mark to the right of Lincoln's shoulder. The reverse side of the coin should show the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial with the words E pluribus unum above it. But the real defining feature is the absence of the mint mark on the obverse. Key details about the coin. Let's talk about some more technical details to look out for. A genuine 1994 penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams and it has a diameter of 19 millimeters. It's made of 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper coating. This composition is what gives the penny its reddish-brown color, which has become synonymous with U.S. pennies. Now, one of the most important things to remember is that this coin is rare not because of its design, but because of the mistake made at the mint. The no mint mark pennies were struck in error, which is what makes them highly collectible and valuable. Why the 1994 no mint mark penny is rare and valuable, so why is this coin so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. Typically, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint have the P mint mark. When a batch of 1994 pennies was released without any mint mark at all, it created a unique, unintentional error that numismatists or coin collectors have been eager to get their hands on ever since. Because only a very small number of these 1994 no mint mark pennies exist, they are considered to be a rare error coin, which automatically drives up their value. In fact, the market for rare pennies, especially those with minting errors, is one of the most active sectors in coin collecting. Current market value and auction sales. So, what is the current market value of a 1994 no mint mark penny? Well, the price can vary significantly depending on its condition. If your penny has seen better days and is heavily worn or circulated, it might only be worth a few dollars more than face value. But if it's in excellent, uncirculated condition, the value skyrockets. In fact, in 2018, a 1994 no mint mark penny was sold at auction for a mind-blowing $867,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a single penny. This particular penny was in pristine, certified, uncirculated condition, which is one of the reasons it fetched such an incredible price. Coins like this are the holy grail of coin collectors. Other examples of this coin, in varying conditions, have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. The key is that the coin must be well preserved and free from damage. If you happen to find one of these in your collection or in your change, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Conclusion and call to action. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket worth nearly $1 million. It might sound too good to be true, but it's possible if you find a 1994 no mint mark penny in excellent condition. As a coin collector or someone simply sorting through your change, you have a chance to get lucky and discover this rare treasure. So, take a moment to check your spare change and don't overlook those pennies. You never know, the next one you pick up might just be worth more than 1,000 times its face value. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and the latest news in the world of valuable coins. Happy hunting! Hello, and welcome to our channel. Today, we have an exciting story that could change the way you look at your spare change. You might have one of these coins sitting in your collection or even tucked away in a drawer, and not realize that it could be worth an incredible amount of money. Imagine this, a coin that is just over 2 decades old, yet it could fetch up to $867,000. That's right, we're talking about the 1998 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own collection to see if you've stumbled upon this rare treasure. Let's dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and see why this particular penny is so valuable. To understand why the 1998 no mint mark penny is so valuable, we first need to know a bit about its history. In 1998, the United States Mint was responsible for producing coins that would circulate in the United States. Typically, the mint places a small mark on each coin to indicate where it was produced, either in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This mark, known as the mint mark, lets collectors and historians trace the coin's origins. However, in 1998, something unusual happened. A number of pennies were struck without a mint mark. Most of the time, pennies from this period bear the D mint mark if they were produced in Denver, or the S mint mark if they came from San Francisco. But for reasons that are still debated, Some 1998 pennies were struck in Philadelphia and were missing the mint mark altogether. These coins are incredibly rare. In fact, there were so few of them produced that they are considered a serious anomaly in the world of coin collecting. Now that we know the backstory, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 1998 no mint mark penny. If you want to check if you have one of these rare coins, here are a few things you'll need to look for. The date. First, check the year. The coin must be from 1998. You'll see the year stamped on the obverse side of the penny, where Abraham Lincoln's profile is .no mint mark. The most important feature of this coin is that it has no mint mark on the reverse side, just under the date. Normally, you would see a small D or S, but this coin is missing it completely. Design and features. The coin itself will have the usual design of a 1998 penny, which includes Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Union shield with E pluribus unum on the reverse. Weight and material. A genuine 1,998 penny weighs 2.5 grams and is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. If your penny feels off, it may not be the one you're looking for. The rarity of the 1998 no mint mark penny is what makes it so valuable. Coins without a mint mark are uncommon in general, but when you consider that it was struck in 1998, a year when mint marks were typically used to identify the location of production, the absence of the mark is even more puzzling. Experts believe this mistake might have been caused by a mix-up in production or a malfunction during the coin striking process. Over time, these coins have become highly sought after by collectors, particularly because they are so difficult to find. As with many rare coins, the fewer there are in circulation, the higher the value. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for these errors, especially when the coin is in pristine condition. So, how much is a 1998 no mint mark penny worth? Well, the value of any coin depends on its condition. Here's a breakdown of what you might expect. Worn or circulated condition. Even if the penny has seen some wear and tear, it could still be worth several $100s. A coin that's heavily worn but still identifiable can fetch around $100 to $500, depending on its condition and the interest from buyers. Uncirculated condition. If the penny has never been used in circulation and remains in perfect condition, its value skyrockets. You could be looking at anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 for an uncirculated version. Certified condition. Coins that have been professionally graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can fetch significantly more. If your penny is graded as being in top-tier condition, it could easily bring in up to $867,000. The amount a particularly well-preserved 1998 no mint mark penny was sold for at auction in recent years. To put the value into perspective, let's take a look at some real-life examples. In 2018, one of these rare 1998 no mint mark pennies was sold for an astonishing $867,000 at an auction. This was for a coin in nearly perfect condition, with no wear visible and a sharp, clear imprint. There have also been other examples of coins selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars in similar pristine condition. These sales are proof that rare coins can provide significant financial returns to those lucky enough to find them. So, what does this mean for you? Well, if you've been holding on to a 1998 penny that has no mint mark, you might just have a small fortune in your hands. While it's unlikely that you'll find a penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, even pennies in good condition can still bring in significant sums. It's important to regularly check your spare change and look through your coin collection. You never know when a rare find might be hiding among the coins you've accumulated over the years. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and valuable pennies, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you tips and advice on how to spot valuable coins, as well as real-life stories of coins that made people rich. And don't forget, the next time you get your change, take a moment to check your pennies. You could be holding on to a small fortune. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about one of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever made, the 2000 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth a mere 1 cent that could be sitting in your pocket right now and be worth a staggering $867,000. If you have a 2000 Lincoln penny, keep watching because you might just have something rare and incredibly valuable. We'll dive deep into its history, how to identify it, why it's so valuable, and how much money it could make you. The 2000 Lincoln penny is part of the United States' long history of coinage, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The penny features Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that became iconic and lasted for decades. But in 2000, the U.S. Mint decided to make a special change to the back of the coin. They replaced the Lincoln Memorial with a new design called the Union Shield, which was introduced as part of a new series of pennies celebrating the nation's heritage. However, during the process of making these new pennies, a mistake occurred. A very rare mistake that not many people noticed at first. Some of the 2000 Lincoln pennies were struck without a mint mark. Normally, every U.S. coin is stamped with a mint mark to indicate where it was made, but these particular pennies were missing it, making them stand out as a rare error. So, how do you know if you've got one of these rare 2000 no mint mark pennies? It's important to remember that not every penny from 2000 is valuable, just the ones that were mistakenly struck without a mint mark. Here's how you can identify it. Look for the year. The year 2000 is crucial. It's easy to check the date on the penny. Check the mint mark. Normally, U.S. coins will have a mint mark like D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. If there is no mint mark, that's the first sign that you might have a rare coin. Examine the design. You should also see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Union Shield on the back. But what sets this penny apart is the absence of the mint mark. Keep in mind that the coin should be from the year 2000 and missing the mint mark. A penny from another year, even if it looks similar, won't have the same value. To further ensure the penny is genuine, let's take a look at its key features. Weight. A genuine 2000 Lincoln penny weighs about 2.5 grams, which is the standard weight for a modern penny. Material. It is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This composition is consistent with pennies produced in the late 20th century and early 21st century. Mint marks, as we've mentioned. The absence of a mint mark on a penny from 2000 is the most important characteristic that makes it rare. The error in minting, the lack of a mint mark, makes this particular penny so sought after by collectors. But why is this mistake so valuable? The 2000 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is valuable because it was created as a mistake. In coin collecting, errors are often worth a lot more than regular coins. A missing mint mark on a penny that was otherwise supposed to have one makes it a unique and rare find. Additionally, because so many of these pennies were made correctly with mint marks, only a small number of them were struck incorrectly without the mark, making them very hard to find today. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for such rare pieces, which drives up the price. Now, let's talk about how much a 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth. The value depends on its condition, which is rated based on whether it's worn, circulated, uncirculated, or certified. Worn or circulated coins, even if the penny is a little worn from being spent in circulation, it could still fetch a decent amount. These coins have been sold for anywhere from $100 to $1,000 depending on how worn they are. Uncirculated coins, if you have a 2000 penny that looks almost brand new, it could be worth significantly more. An uncirculated version of this rare penny has sold for as much as $5,000 or more. Certified coins, coins that are graded by professional coin certification services like PCGS or NGC, can be worth a lot more. A certified 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny in perfect condition has been known to sell for over $867,000 at auction. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Certified coins are typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and the closer to 70, the more valuable the coin. You might be wondering, how much have these coins actually sold for? Well, there have been some incredible sales in recent years. In one of the most famous auctions, a 2000 no mint mark penny sold for a jaw-dropping $867,000. This sale made headlines and showed the world just how valuable these rare pennies can be. The coin was certified as being in near-perfect condition, which is why it fetched such a high price. Other pennies in less than perfect condition have also fetched impressive amounts, ranging from $100 to $10,000 depending on the state they're in. So, even if your penny isn't in mint condition, it could still be worth a lot more than you think. If you happen to come across a 2000 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, don't dismiss it as just another coin. It could be the start of a life-changing discovery. Coins like these are rare and valuable, and the right collector might be willing to pay a fortune for it. So now is the time to check your change, dig through your old coins, and make sure you're not missing out on a small fortune. If you find one of these rare pennies, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Who knows, you could become one of the lucky few to cash in on a rare piece of American history. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel for more informative videos on coin collecting, rare finds, and how to get the most out of your coins. Don't forget to check your pockets and happy hunting. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, share it with friends or family, and leave a comment telling us if you've found any rare coins in your collection. And, of course, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future videos about rare and valuable coins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have you ever come across a penny and thought, this is just a regular coin? Well, it might be time to take another look at that loose change sitting in your drawer. What if I told you that there is a penny out there, a 2002 Lincoln cent, that is worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right, $867,000. This is the story of one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in existence, the 2002 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and in this video, I'm going to show you why this small piece of copper could change your life if you find one. Let's take a step back and understand the history of this remarkable penny. The 2002 Lincoln cent was part of the regular annual production of pennies, which are produced by the U.S. Mint to be used in everyday transactions. However, not all pennies were created equal. Typically, each coin is stamped with a mint mark, which tells you where it was made, whether in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 2002, something unusual happened. A handful of pennies were struck without a mint mark at all. Now, most coins are made with great care, and mint marks are a standard feature for identification. The absence of this mark on the 2002 penny made these particular coins stand out, and that's where the mystery begins. So, why was the mint mark missing? Well, there's an interesting twist to this story. In 2002, the U.S. Mint began transitioning the way they produced coins at their various facilities. The Philadelphia Mint typically produced pennies, but for some reason, a few of them came off the presses without the usual D or S mint mark. As a result, these coins are now considered a rare error variety, and that error is what makes them incredibly valuable today. Now, let's talk about how to identify a genuine 2002 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. First, you need to know that this coin has the standard design for a 2002 penny, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. But here's the key detail you need to look for: the lack of a mint mark. If you see a 2002 penny that has no mint mark at all, no D for Denver or S for San Francisco, it could be worth a fortune. Next, let's examine the physical characteristics of the coin. A genuine 2002 penny is made from 97.5% copper and 2.5% zinc, just like most modern pennies. The weight of the coin should be about 2.5 grams and its diameter is 19.05 millimeters. Be sure to check these details carefully, as counterfeit versions could be out there. The most important thing to remember is that you're looking for a genuine, unaltered coin with no mint mark. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to consult a professional coin grader who can verify its authenticity. Let's go into a little more detail about the technical aspects of the coin. As mentioned earlier, the material of a standard penny is copper with a small amount of zinc. The weight should be exactly 2.5 grams. These are standard measurements, so any deviation in weight could be a sign of a counterfeit or altered coin. The mint mark, or lack thereof, is what truly makes this coin stand out. Most 2002 pennies will have a mint mark indicating where they were produced, but the absence of a mint mark on some of these coins is the defining error that makes them so rare. It's the error that collectors and investors are after, and it's not just any error. These missing mint marks are extremely rare, and they are considered an off-center or die error, which only happened in a small batch of coins. That's why finding a genuine 2002 No Mint Mark penny is like finding a needle in a haystack. So why exactly is this coin so rare and valuable? The simple answer is that only a very small number of these coins were produced. Mint errors, like the missing mint mark, don't happen often, and when they do, they create a limited supply of coins that collectors are eager to get their hands on. The rarity of the 2002 No Mint Mark penny makes it valuable. Add to that the historical significance of the Lincoln Cent series, which is one of the most well-known and widely collected coin series in the world, and you've got a coin that is highly sought after. The value also comes from the fact that these coins are in very high demand among collectors and investors. In the world of coin collecting, rarity combined with historical importance can drive prices to astronomical levels. Now, let's talk about the current market value. A 2002 no-mint mark penny in excellent condition, such as an uncirculated version, can fetch a staggering $867,000 at auction. This is the price that has been seen in recent years for coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition. However, it's important to remember that the value of the coin can vary depending on its condition. For example, if the coin is worn or circulated, its value will be significantly lower, anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on the wear and tear. Even so, this is still a substantial amount for a penny. If you have a 2002 penny that you believe might be the no-mint mark version, it's worth getting it graded by a professional coin grader. Certified coins, especially those in mint condition, often sell for much higher prices at auction.so. How much have these rare pennies actually sold for in auctions? There have been documented sales where a 2002 no-mint mark penny has fetched as much as $867,000. For example, a coin in perfect condition, graded by the professional coin grading service PCGS, sold for that amount in a high-profile auction just a few years ago. Other 2002 no-mint mark pennies, in lower grades or with some wear, have still managed to fetch several $1,000s. The bottom line is that if you find one of these rare coins, you could be looking at a significant payday depending on its condition and grade.so. Can you get rich or lucky if you find one of these pennies? Absolutely. If you happen to come across a 2002 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, it could be worth a small fortune. All you need to do is check your spare change or look through your coin collection. You never know, there might be a rare treasure waiting for you. To maximize your chances, consider looking for pennies that are in good condition, and remember, the key identifying feature is the absence of the mint mark. If you find one, don't just assume it's a regular coin, get it checked by a professional. It could be worth far more than you think. So before you toss out that old penny or leave it sitting in your jar, take a moment to check it carefully. If you're unsure, have it evaluated by a coin expert. And if you want to stay updated on rare coins, coin collecting tips, and other valuable finds, be sure to subscribe to our channel. You never know, the next penny you find could be your ticket to a small fortune. Thank you for watching, and happy coin hunting. Imagine going through your loose change and suddenly you come across a penny that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth nearly $1 million. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing discoveries in the world of coin collecting, the 2006 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This small coin has a story to tell, and it could be the key to making you very rich. Stay tuned as we explore why this penny is worth a staggering $867,000. To understand why this particular penny is so valuable, we first need to look back at its history. The Abraham Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It quickly became a staple in American currency, and over the years, many different versions of the penny have been made, each with slight variations in design and production. The 2006 version, featuring the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse back, is a typical penny that many of us encounter in our day-to-day lives. But what sets this coin apart from all the others is something a little more extraordinary, a rare mistake made during the minting process that has turned this penny into a potential gold mine. Now, you may be wondering, how do I spot a genuine 2006 Lincoln penny, especially one that could be worth so much? First, let's start with the basics. The penny is made of copper-plated zinc and it weighs around 2.5 grams. The key feature of this particular coin is the mint mark on the obverse, located just below the date. The letter D stands for the Denver Mint where the coin was produced. However, there's more to this story. The rare and valuable version of the 2006 Lincoln penny has a unique error that occurred during the minting process. Some of these pennies were struck with an incorrect die, causing the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse to be over-engraved. This mistake creates a double image, and if you look closely, you can see the outlines of Lincoln's memorial distorted. Now, this error is not common. In fact, it is extremely rare, and it's what makes this coin so valuable. If you happen to find one, make sure to inspect it carefully. If you notice the double image and the distinct error, you may be holding on to a fortune. Let's take a moment to go over some important details that will help you identify this coin correctly. Year, 2006. This is crucial because the error only occurred in that specific year. Mint mark. The D mint mark is located just below the year, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. Material. The coin is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper with a copper-plated zinc core. Weight. It weighs about 2.5 Grams, the standard weight for all modern U.S. pennies. Error, the most important feature is the double strike error on the reverse. If you look closely, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial image appears twice, which is a result of a misalignment during the minting process. These are the key details to look out for. Keep in mind that while the 2006 D penny is valuable, it needs to have this specific error to command such a high price. Regular 2006 pennies, even in excellent condition, are still worth only 1 cent. So why is this penny worth so much? The rarity of this coin is what makes it so valuable. Minting errors happen occasionally, but not all errors lead to a coin becoming worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This particular double strike error on the 2006 D penny is a once-in-a-lifetime mistake that has captivated the world of coin collectors and investors alike. The fact that only a few of these error coins exist, coupled with their undeniable appeal to collectors, has caused the market value to skyrocket. A coin that was originally worth just 1 cent, if found with this specific error, could potentially fetch anywhere from tens of thousands to over $800,000 at auction. Now, let's talk about the different values for this coin depending on its condition. Just like with any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value. Worn or circulated coins, if the penny has been in circulation for a while, it will likely have some wear and tear. Even in this condition, a 2006 D penny with the double strike error could be worth a few $1,000s. Uncirculated coins, a penny that has never been used and is in pristine condition, could be worth significantly more. A well-preserved 2006 D double strike penny could easily fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Certified coins, if the coin is professionally graded and certified by a trusted organization like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS), its value increases even further. Certified coins with the double strike error have been known to sell for as much as $867,000 at auction, depending on the exact condition and demand at the time of sale. In recent years, there have been some remarkable sales of the 2006 D Lincoln penny with the double strike error. One such penny in near-perfect condition was auctioned for an incredible $867,000. This sale shocked the coin collecting community and put a spotlight on this rare penny. Other examples have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on the condition and the collector's interest. These auction results show just how much potential this penny has. If you happen to find one of these rare coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So how can you get lucky and possibly strike it rich? The answer is simple: check your change. Yes, that's right, your everyday pocket change could be worth a small fortune. If you come across a 2006 D penny, don't just toss it into your jar. Take a closer look to see if it has the rare double strike error. If it does, you could be holding onto a coin worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Remember, the key to finding these rare coins is being vigilant. The more you learn about coin collecting and the rarities that exist, the better your chances of finding something extraordinary. Before you go, I want to encourage you to check your change, especially the pennies. You never know when you might find a hidden treasure. And if you enjoyed learning about this rare penny, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos about valuable coins and rare collectibles. Who knows, your next lucky find might be just around the corner. Thanks for watching and happy hunting.